What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here with some interesting, wild, crazy rumors on today's show. I also quickly want to give a shout out to my new producer today, Patrick Seatman. He's new to Chat Sports, first time on the ones and twos, so take it easy on the guy if we've got some, speed bumps along the way. But let's jump into the reason why you clicked on today's show. The Jimmy Garoppolo trade rumor. Sports Illustrated is just one of a few places, but the most recent one, to suggest a Baker Mayfield for Jimmy Garoppolo swap. Now, this would only happen, in my opinion, if Watson were to get a year-long suspension. I don't see the Browns panicking and going, 4 games, no Watson, we need Jimmy G right now. Now, Garoppolo's contract isn't necessarily very friendly to a trade. All right, let's check out the base salaries for Baker Mayfield, and we'll talk about Baker being half of this equation in a little bit. But first, let's focus on Jimmy G because that would be the guy coming to Cleveland. But the base salaries for these two guys, we know Baker. I think everyone will forever have $18.9 million memorized for as long as they exist. But as for Jimmy Garoppolo, $24.2 million. Now, it's important to note, wherever Jimmy G goes, he's going to probably restructure his contract because let's say in this wild world, it is the Browns who trade for Garoppolo. Andrew Berry is not going to trade for him, and then once he has Garoppolo and say, hey, by the way, would you mind taking a pay cut? Because I really don't want to pay 24. No, that'll be something that's part of the trade, part of the negotiations. Whatever team acquires Garoppolo, they're going to be calling his agent going, hey, does Jimmy G mind taking a massive pay cut because we're not interested in paying him $24 million. So the other side of this coin is, why trade for Garoppolo if you've got Jacoby Brissett? Let's compare some stats here, because I am in the belief Jimmy Garoppolo is a clear and obvious upgrade over Jacoby Brissett. Take Jimmy G's stats from 2021 and compare him to Brissett's just last 17 starts across his career. There's not much of a comparison. I mean, they're decently close. 20 touchdowns to 16, 12 interceptions to 8. But you got to remember when Jacoby Brissett's been playing for, say, the Dolphins last year, right? 5 starts in Miami, they kind of limited the playbook a tad for him. But if that comparison is not necessarily fair to you, what about it when they're at their best, right? Garoppolo with the Niners in 2019 when he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders to win the Super Bowl. Or Jacoby Brissett when he started 15 games for the Colts back in 2019. At their best seasons right there, in full, complete slate, again, it's Jimmy G, right? Jimmy G is the better quarterback over Brissett. My only question is he a big enough upgrade to give up a valuable pick, right? That's where I kind of run into an issue. Not that if Deshaun Watson were to get suspended for a year, this is a lost season, call it quits, mail it in. No, I don't believe that whatsoever. This Browns roster is one of the best rosters in the NFL. Let's name some guys and some dudes right now. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Clowney, J.O.K., John Johnson, Grant Delpit. The defense is littered with talent. On the offensive side, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, David Njoku. Hopefully a breakout season from DPJ. So it's not a lost season without Deshaun Watson, but is it worth giving up a valuable asset for Garoppolo just for 1 year? I want you guys to, sit in Andrew Berry's seat here and be the GM. Would you trade for Jimmy G if Watson is suspended for a full season? Let me know down below in the comment section. Show up and show out dog pound. Y for yes or N for no. Now, I think it's important to take a look at the Browns' 2023 draft picks because they don't have a first-round pick. And honestly, despite giving up, a lot for Deshaun Watson, they still got 8 picks as of right now for 2023. So they're not, super skinny in this department. But every pick kind of feels like it should be bumped up, right? Your second-round pick kind of feels like it's your first-round pick because you don't have a first-round pick. So if Garoppolo cost you a 4th, kind of feels like a 3rd. And I wouldn't do it for a 3rd because I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to come in here and win a Super Bowl in this season. And you'll end up wishing you had that 3rd-round pick when Deshaun Watson returns and you could get a valuable asset for him. But, I mean, for a 5th, a 5th-round pick, a 6th, Yeah, I think I would definitely do it for the Rams' 5th-round pick in that Troy Hill trade. Now, the second half of this trade, of course, is Baker Mayfield going to San Francisco. Why would the 49ers want Baker, right? They are investing in Trey Lance. Baker doesn't feel like that's going to be progressing that agenda very much to me. Now, we're going to talk about that more in detail in just a second, but make sure you help us reach 10,000 subscribers. We are less than 600 subs away from it. I want to reach 10K by the time training camp opens up, which is 26 days away. So if you haven't subscribed already and you're looking for a Browns YouTube channel, this is the spot for you. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. Let's get back to the Niners side of things here, because if you're going to trade Baker for Jimmy G, maybe the Browns would agree to that if Watson's suspended for a full season. But why would the Niners do it, right? They have to be all in on Trey Lance right now. Last year, you didn't see a ton of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but maybe confidence that he could absolutely be the guy going forward. Rookie season, we knew coming out of North Dakota State, Lance was going to be a raw prospect who would need some maturing and developing. You know, he only played one game in 2020 before being drafted, right? In FCS, the COVID debacle for FCS football, didn't play a lot, but he had the intangibles, the arm strength, the traits you look for. But for me, Trey Lance, I don't see a reason why the Niners are going to punt on him and say, yeah, let's bring Baker in, because that's definitely not going to stunt Trey Lance's growth or anything, or send panic waves and shock waves across Niner Empire. So while we talk about quarterbacks, I want to ask a quick question here. What was your biggest miss on a Browns quarterback? Time to be honest, because you can sadly go a handful of directions for swing and misses on Browns QBs, but let me know what your personal biggest miss on a quarterback you thought was going to be awesome. I am in the majority, like most people. I thought it was going to be Johnny Manziel. I thought Johnny Manziel was going to be awesome. I knew the character issues. We all knew the character issues. Optimistic that maybe it could happen or it could work, but no, that did not happen. All right, let's get back on track though. Back to the Jimmy G side of things here, because I don't think the Niners are very interested. I don't think the Niners would be interested in getting Baker Mayfield. But there was an interesting report that came out. Martellus Bennett, remember the Bennett brothers? One was a tight end, one was a defensive end for the Seahawks for a while. But Martellus Bennett, the tight end who played for the Patriots, he had some not nice things to say about Jimmy Garoppolo. He joined the McCourty brothers on their double coverage podcast, whatever it's called, and he called him a little bitch. And then we had Julian Edelman talk about why that might be the case. Here's what Edelman said the other day. I don't know. We're all football players here, but Jacoby Brissett, he tore ligaments in his thumb in the win against the Texans in Week 3. So we go into Week 4, and I guess Jimmy was practicing and then decided not to play. Jacoby played with no ligaments in his thumb, which you can't do that as a quarterback. You can't grip the football. This is back when you had the Deflategate and Tom Brady was suspended for the first 4 games and Brissett had to play Week 4 because Jimmy G got hurt after 3 weeks. So that was a while ago. I'm not going to say no to a trade because maybe Garoppolo, wasn't a tough guy and he wasn't doing his best for the locker room a couple years ago. For all I know, he has matured and that has changed dramatically throughout his time in San Francisco. This is the time where I think fans and media members, I'm not a media member, but people like myself need to separate ourselves and go, you're not in the locker room, dude. You don't know Jimmy Garoppolo that well as a person. You know him as a quarterback, right? We know what he does on the field, but for all I know, Jimmy G learned from that, grew from that, and now he's not that kind of player anymore, or maybe he is. But I thought that was a relevant thing to just include into today's show. As we wrap up the show, I hope everyone has a happy 4th of July. I don't like people saying Independence Day. It just sounds wrong. It's 4th of July or July 4th. So let's spam USA for the United States Continental Army absolutely dominating the number 1 seed in the world of world history, the British Empire in the 1700s, sending Cornwallis to Yorkshire, sending him to the Battle of, York, now I'm blanking on it, whatever. All right, in 1778 at that point, and just dominating the Redcoats, sending them packing, and tails between their legs across the pond back to Great Britain. And now we live in the best country in the history of the world. Let's get some quick shout-outs, though, to wrap up today's show. All right. Ricochet TV, appreciate you for hopping in the comments section of our last video, along with Richard, Mark, Les, John Channel, Kevin, Parker, Jeffrey. You were MIA for a while, then we got you back, so shout out to you, my guy. Logan Lucas wants me to do the giddy. He said I told him I would do it if we got 699 likes on a video, so that's my challenge. I'll do the giddy if we get 699 likes. Hopefully I don't pull an Adam Schefter and tear my meniscus. And then Poison Pill, who had the original Deshaun Watson suspension idea that Mike Florio tossed out. Poison Pill suggested that 12 days on a video. So shout out to you. Maybe you're Mike Florio's burner account. I don't know. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us on today's show. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, making us a part of your day. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July, not Independence. I don't know why. That just sounds kind of off to me. Great 4th of July, July 4th weekend, and I'll see you guys later with more Browns coverage.